Hi, my name is Morgan Faber, and I will be talking about augmentative and alternative communication in kids with autism. So, did you know that in 2016, about 1 in 54 children 8 years and younger were diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder? And about 40% of children who are diagnosed with autism are nonverbal or minimally verbal. And because of this, children with autism can benefit from speech therapy interventions. And the high prevalence of communication impairments among children with ASD makes effective communication a really high priority. And one type of intervention that I'm going to be talking about is augmentative and alternative communication. So, augmentative and alternative communication, or AAC, is any tool, strategy, or technology that compensates for, enhances, expands, or helps develop communication skills. Augmentative communication is when you add something to what you already have to get your point across, so like using gestures. And alternative communication is when you substitute your speech for something else, so like sign language. AAC is used by people who cannot rely on their verbal speech some or all of the time. And the type of AAC system that is chosen is determined by the needs of the individual and their communication partners. And there are two types of AAC systems, and they are either aided or unaided. So, aided systems are produced only by using your body, so you don't need anything physical to aid you in communicating. And examples of this include gestures, body language, facial expressions, and sign language. Unaided systems typically require adequate motor control so the child can use their body to make signs or gestures to get their point across. And some of these hand shapes, positions, or even movements are more difficult than others to produce. Unaided systems also require communication partners that can interpret the message. So, for example, if a child is using signs, the communication partner will need to know what the signs mean so that they understand what the child is trying to communicate. Aided systems include approaches that require some sort of external support, and these can either be low technology or high technology. Low tech items are things such as communication boards, alphabet boards, written words, or picture exchange systems. And then I do have this, and this is a example of a communication board, and it's low text, which is paper. And then the individual can just point to what they're saying or trying to say. And there's different topics that they can choose through too. High-tech tools are things such as computers, handheld devices, or tablet devices with apps that have symbols that produce and generate actual speech output. So like an iPad. There are many reasons why AAC is a beneficial option for children with autism. Picture Exchange Communication System, or PECS, is a type of aided AAC system that is emerging as a treatment option for children with autism. PECS allows children who have very little to no verbal speech to communicate through pictures. It involves exchanging of these pictures to communicate with someone else in ways such as requesting or commenting. So I have an example. So I have a sentence strip here that says, I want, and then there's a blank, and then it says, please. The child could have a variety of different symbols. It can be literally anything. And then they could choose one. So say they choose cereal, and then they can put it on their sentence strip. And now it says, I want cereal, please. And there was a study done to test the effects of social communication skills in children who have autism after using PECS. And these authors found that the group of children who used PECS showed a significant improvement in their social communication skills. And this is just one study that proves that this one form of AAC increases communication in children with autism. And then this bottom picture, you can see a little boy is kind of doing that same concept of the sentence strip. So he's pointing to a picture. And then another option for AAC is a speech generating device. And this is a computerized device that creates speech output when symbols are activated. So these symbols can have graphics on them to represent a word, so like a picture or a line drawing, or they can have individual letters and the individual can type them out to spell something. And this all depends on the type of software that is on the device. So the child will touch the symbol with the word that they're trying to say, and the device will say it for them. So on here, we can do
I want more.
and there are a lot of other things that you can do too. That's just a simple example. And then speech generating devices offer a way for nonverbal and minimally verbal children with autism to overcome their unique communication barrier. And not only can they create sentences, but they have that verbal output as well, rather than just pointing. These devices can be as simple or as complex as the person needs. So it can have two words on it, like more or stop, or it can have 16 different things on one page. It all just depends on the person's needs. Using a speech generating device helps children with autism reach their goal of independent, spontaneous communication. And this just goes into the main idea of the presentation that AAC does create an increase in communication in children who have autism. The type of AAC system, like I said, that's being used, it can be either unaided or aided or high or low tech. It's all just determined by the child's specific needs and their preferences. So you can see here, this little guy is using an iPad with verbal output. And then here are some resources that you're welcome to take and look further into. These first two links are more personal experiences or success stories from families who have kids with autism. The next link goes further into how technology can help children with autism. And then these next three links just cover what I talked about in this presentation, along with some further information. And then these last two links are two places that you can look into if you want further information on getting some sort of AAC device. This first one is in North Dakota, and then the second one is in Moorhead, Minnesota. So if you're looking to dive deeper into this topic, you are more than welcome to look at these links as a few good resources. So thank you.